let's get right into it. So shout out to May Ruiz, who informed me in the comments section. A lot of you did, but May was like the first one who let me know that the outfit that Tracy was wearing, I thought it was a bulletproof goose down jersey dress. May, and a lot of you guys let me know that she was actually wearing a suicide vest, like this dress was to protect her. In the prisons, when they believe that you are, or feel that you may harm yourself, they give you this outfit because you cannot cut it up and use it to either, you know, hang yourself or harm yourself in some way. And Tracy, I just want you off this show, sis. It was never fun, right? But I think what we loved about Clint and Tracy was the fact that they were this, like, you know, ghetto white couple, you know what I mean? Who were just a hot mess. We love them when they're a hot mess. We don't love them when they're a hot mess on meth. When we first met Tracy, she was out of prison, you know what I mean? She was healthy, she was clean. Then she got back on them drugs and it just was not, it wasn't fun anymore watching them. It's really, really sad to watch. And listen, like I said before, who's going to carry this network if this couple is not on this show? Listen, give the mantle to Britney or Marcelino, or bring back Scott and Lizzie. Oh, is Scott on crack now? Give us some people who are clean, or send the stars of this season to rehab and bring them back if they're well. This storyline, to me at this point, I can't watch it and not feel sick. It's really, really hard to watch. And guys, seriously, no shade. Like, I would not have cracked any kind of jokes on that relationship last week had I known that, you know, she was in like a suicide vest. I really thought that it was just like something that you wear in a maximum security prison. I felt like the dress showed that she was rough, or the prison that she was at was rough. You know, I just really thought it was like prison fashion. My cousin is always sending us pics of, you know, his latest fashions in prison. And I'm telling you guys, the stuff that they show you on movies, these prisoners are actually wearing like some dope stuff. Some stuff he makes, I don't know how he makes it. I don't know where he gets it from, but he be showing us his best fits. And I just realized, I don't know how he's sending us these pictures. How the hell he got a cell phone in there? Because I know ain't nobody in the family paying for that. Child, I told y'all, don't let these dimples fool you. My family is ghetto. So Clint like drives up to his mom's house and he like sits in a car and he's just like, and the mom was like, are you gonna come out and talk to me? He's like, well, I guess I'll get out and talk to you. And then in the confessional, he's just like, I miss my goddess. I miss my goddess. You miss her, then why the hell you leave her still in prison? Like, you miss her so much. As soon as you got out, you should have turned around and went to the bail bondsman so you could get your goddess out. $5,000, Clint. $5,000 bond. So I know you only got to pay like, what, 10% of that to get her out? How you miss your goddess and you have an opportunity to get her out and you have it? So anyway, he goes and talks to his mother about the Tracy situation, and he lets her know that Tracy, right, is in prison because she got caught with drugs. He doesn't mention anything about the situation with him being in a car with her because they wanted to sleep in a Walmart parking lot instead of going to a hotel. I'm sorry, but if you have the option of a hotel room or a Walmart parking lot, somebody who isn't on drugs is going to choose the hotel. But if you want to get high in your car and wait till your high wears off before you drive back to where you live, you'll be in a Walmart parking lot. This is the thing that really got on my nerves with this scene. The mother acting like she had no idea. Clinton's like, well, she's back in prison because, you know, she got caught with meth. And the mom's like, meth? Oh, Clint. I believed her when she said that she was going to get clean. Oh, I feel so bad because I was rooting for her. I wanted her to. I just wanted better for Tracy. How the hell you ain't know that she was in prison? You had to go bail your son out. So I know good and well that he told you that she was in prison, and you probably said, hell to the no, we not getting her out. You're my son. Your wife is going to stay in there until she gets clean. Like, she was literally acting like she had no idea. She knew, guys, because she bailed Clint out. Her and that husband. They bailed out Clint and they left Tracy in there. That is my problem with this whole family. Because if you care about her and you're doing all this crying and you really want her to win, why did you leave her in prison? Now, I would respect them if they said, you know what, Clint wanted us to bail her out, but I told him that the only time she was healthy is when she was in prison. So maybe she needs to stay there for a while. And then when she comes out, we'll send her to rehab. That is more believable. That is something we will respect. But to sit here and give me these crocodile tears, like you really care about this girl when you knew before these cameras got here that she was in prison because you bailed out your son who told you that his wife was still locked up when y'all rode him home in that Dodger. What is that? Is that a Caravan? Whatever that car is. Like, don't play me. And is it me? Or is this lady really feeling the fame? I just feel like Clint's mama is really invested in what little bit of fame, local town fame that this show gives her. Because when she first started on the show, when we just started seeing her, guys, she looked totally different. Mother then got some Botox. She got some highlights. She got a new cut. She wearing some fresh fits. She used to be serving us JCPenney. Now she's serving us Macy's Clarence. Every time I see her, I'm like, oh, you feeling this, sis. Oh, you love it. You enjoy this. You enjoy being a part of this show, even if it's at the expense of your son and his goddess. I wouldn't be surprised if this entire family end up on Marriage Boot Camp, Celebrity TV Show Edition or whatever. I would not be surprised if that whole family is on that show. And let me tell you something. No shade, but I will watch it. I will watch it. Clint and his goddess and his mama and his daddy, the truth gonna come out that he's not theirs. Then Clint's father walks in and he can't even fake this whole storyline, because when Clint tells him that Tracy is in prison or jail or prison or whatever, he's like, oh, really? Huh. I was like, yeah, because y'all picked them up. They knew this whole story. This is all fake. This is my only thing about Life After Lockup. I love this show, right? What I loved about it was that I thought it was very raw and fresh. I think now that the cast knows that this could be very profitable for them, now they're producing storylines. And when you as a cast member who have no experience in actually doing story editing or producing, when you start to go off on a tangent and start doing what the hell you think is right for the show, it starts to become a very bad turn for the show. You know what I mean? Because we, the audience, can see you producing your storylines because you're not an actor. So we can see the times when you are faking things and when you're not continuing with the story because you can't keep up with your lives. I'm not saying that the storyline with Clint and Tracy is fake. I think it's all true. I think that Clint and his family is leaving out his part and dumping everything on Tracy. I think they already knew that she was in prison and are just filming this for whatever kind of storyline that they have created. I think the mom really enjoys this fame, so she's going to play into this as much as she can. And I wouldn't even be surprised if she's the one spearheading this part of the storyline and telling Clint that if she stays in there, then it works better for them and it gives them more time to film, and it also gets his goddess clean. I would not be surprised if she is behind this whole thing. Not Tracy getting locked up, but the way this storyline is just playing out, I see Clint's mama all over it. Clint ain't got the brain power to do all of this. I see his mother, who loves those cameras, doing all of this, and the daddy is just going along with it. She's my goddess, but you're making her take the fall for your addiction. You're allowing her to rot in prison, and you're faking like you're going to help her when you know good and well you're going to make her stay in there for the remainder of this season. Stop it, Clint. She's not your goddess, she's your wife, and you ain't even treating her like that. Tracy deserves better. Not much happened with Lacey and Shane this episode, but what I do want to say is that when Lacey was talking about John in her confessionals, she called John Sean. So she mixed up or like fused together Shane and John's name and came up with Sean. I was just like, you can't even keep track of the names of the men whose lives you are destroying. You are the white Michael, sis. The white Michael. Britney and Marcelino. Britney, you need to listen to your sister, Nicole. Beautiful name, by the way. She was giving her some really great advice because Britney wants to have this sit down with her mom, and Nicole is just like, I don't think that's good for her recovery. And then Marcelino was like, and I also don't think that's good for the baby. You're about to give birth. You're a recovering addict. Why in the hell would you sit down with your biggest trigger and try to drum up the past? You can get your healing, sis. Not right now. Not when you're in the last leg of this pregnancy. It just wasn't smart. In my opinion, or in the Nicole's opinion, it was not a smart idea for Britney to start drumming up all of this stuff with her mom when a lot is going on with this family at the moment. And although the Nicoles disagree with her thought pattern, she still does it, and she sits down with her mom, and as soon as like her mom meets her in this park where she used to like lay out and get high or whatever, she sits down with Britney, and Britney just starts dumping everything on her, right? Listen, I'm team Britney all day. Y'all know she has been my favorite on this show because I just love how she has come out of prison and just really turned her life around. And she's living her dream finally, right? But my goodness, I don't think her mother was prepared. As soon as she sat down, she just started telling her everything. And I know the mom was just sitting there like, oh, girl, you asked me to come out here to help with my grandbabies. I ain't know it was going to be no damn therapy session. As soon as she moved out here, Britney became like Dr. Phil with a side of Jerry Springer. She was just punching her mother in the chest for reality. And I was just like, hold on, sis. Hold on. Give your mom a break. Even Nicole, she was just like, listen, I understand that my parents were recovering addicts by the time I was born. My life was a bit different than Britney's, but still, ease into this healing because the both of you are addicts and you need to take it easy. You just can't go full force into something when you know you have an issue that you're struggling with. However, it appeared as if the sit down went really well, and I'm thankful for the both of them. I really, really am, because like I said before, when you have an addict in your life, it's really sad, but it's like walking on eggshells because you know that they have an issue dealing with just everyday things in life that you could probably deal with a lot easier. A lot of times, addicts need something, this drug or whatever, to help them get throughout the day because whatever happened to them when they were very young, that they grew up with as an adult, they can't fully handle it. So they need this crutch, this support, which is this drug. So I was concerned. I was really concerned for her, but it looked like it went well. And I hope that this is it. That this is their last sit downs. And this is the last time she started dumping stuff on her mama, because I was looking at her mama and I was like, Britney, you dumping a lot. And I don't think that she can handle it. She took as much as she could, but I'm like, if you dump something else on her, I don't think it'll be good for either one of you. And speaking of stuff that she was dumping, my goodness, when Britney said that her baby father, he started dating her at 12 and he was 30, I was just like, oh, so are we bleeping out his name because he's currently in prison? That's where he needs to be. She got pregnant by a predator. Poor thing. You know what I mean? Like, that was hard for me to listen to, and I didn't give birth to Britney. Could you imagine her mother hearing that for the first time on camera? Child, I would have just passed out. So this whole thing could end. I would suddenly revive myself when the cameras were going and be like, girl, we need to go to therapy. Like, we're not doing this on camera. Cheryl and Josh. So Josh wants to make it work with Cheryl because this is the first reason that he gave, because she's the only woman that has ever been this loyal to him. That's it? Okay. And speaking of Cheryl, sis, what the hell happened to your eyebrows? Like, it's always something new with Cheryl. Everybody in the cast has upgraded but Cheryl. Cheryl has these eyebrows where it looks like she was like, sketching them in and got upset. Like she just got really mad and just smudged it and was just like, you know what? I'm late for work. Let's just do this and go. So I was just like, sis, did you do this on purpose? Or were you upset? It just looked like somebody went, come here, girl. Like, girl, see, this is the type of hot mess I can take. I can't take a hot mess on meth. A hot mess with bad eyebrows, and that's it. Let's go. Let's go. And also, where your other kids at, Cheryl? Why you just got the 3-year-old? And in saying that, why do you got your 3-year-old in this situation? You done moved to Colorado to be with your felon boyfriend who you're not even sure if it's going to work out, and you done brought your son with him, and you don't have a place to stay. Cheryl is no longer staying in hotel rooms. She now has to stay with Josh's mother, who don't want them there. Okay. She told Cheryl, her son, and that child that they got 3 days, and that's it. She was just like, oh no, you got 3 days to stay with me, and that's it. You were out after 3 days. And Josh was like, oh yeah, we're going to get out as soon as possible. But you know what? Her car broke down and we might need, to use that money on the car. So we might need to stay longer. She was like, no, you won't. No, you won't. 3 days and that's it. She cannot stand Cheryl. Are we ever going to see this husband that she thought Cheryl was trying to steal from her? I need to see this man. I really need to see what this man looks like. He better look like Paul Newman. And listen, I'm on Cheryl's side with the whole issue with Josh's mother, right? I feel like Josh's mother was wrong. To assume that she was trying to steal your man from you when all she did was pass him a beer. I thought the way this woman was acting that Cheryl slept with him. All she did was go to the fridge and give him a beer, and all of a sudden you think that she wants this man. He better look like Paul Newman, sis. He better look like Paul Newman. And although I'm on Cheryl's side concerning their disagreement, I am not on her side with how she talks to and treats Josh's mother. Sis, at the end of the day, you want this to be your mother-in-law. You want to marry her son and you want to have kids with him. So your children are going to be her grandkids and you are going to be her daughter-in-law. You have to make it work because this is a choice you made. You don't have to be in this situation. You were your child, but you made this your life, so you need to make it work. She's sitting in this woman's house, disrespecting her like she can't wait to curse her out. And then she's going to say in her confessional, as soon as we move out, I'm going to tell her how I feel about her. How is that going to fix your situation? How is that going to make it easier for your fiance or your boyfriend that you want to marry? Like, girl, you are making your life and your current situation a lot harder than it actually has to be. She needs help. She doesn't have there's no in between with her. She goes 0 to 100 real quick. And I don't think that that's healthy. There's something missing. Like everybody has something in them, like a sensor, or I don't know what it's called, but it's something that, allows us to realize when we've gone too far, or before we even get to that point, something holds us back. Common sense, compassion. Like she's missing a few things because the way she was talking to Josh's mother, she was even looking shocked. The mom was like, well, wait a minute. What the hell did I say? Like she was even looking shocked. Like, why are you even talking to me like that? I'm letting you and your kid stay in my home. Yes, it's 3 days, but it's still her home. Cheryl could be with her son in a Walmart parking lot because that's where everybody seems to go. You might have an issue with her, but you have to respect her, especially if you're going to be under her roof. Angela and Tony. So we see Tony sleeping in his car after Angela has put him out. Or was that Angela's car? Because at the end of when their scene wrapped up, she hopped into the same car that he was sleeping in. So I don't know what's going on here, but I think this couple, I wouldn't say scamming, but I'm going to say scamming because I don't think they're telling the truth. I think they are together while this show is filming and playing up this storyline that they've broken up and that Angela has kicked him out. Even when we see Tony again in this episode, he's acting like he's been sleeping out in the car all night, and Angela's just like, well, I'll just let you in so you can use the shower, but when I come back at 5, you better be going. And I was like, well, damn, how long is a shower? It was the daytime when she let him in. So I'm like, if you're about to leave for work, then you probably do about 9 to 5. So you're letting this man in your home and you're giving him a time limit. Not even saying you can take the shower. I'm gonna wait here for you to be done. And then after that, I'm locking up my house and you got to do whatever you got to do. She's going to give this man her home until she gets back in from work. You know why? Because she never kicked him out, guys. He slept in that home and he rested in her coochie. She playing games. This couple is playing games. I guarantee you, before the cameras got there, Tony was in that home chilling. We talk about how in his confessional, Tony was just like, oh, this is my house too. She can't put me out of my home. Yes, the hell she can. That's her home. You're a guest. The reason why she hasn't called the cops on you to remove you from that place is because she's in love with you. And Tony has already said it. There's nothing that this man can do that will make her fall out of love with him and stop being used by him. He was never put out. Trust and believe that. Poor Faye. Can we get into Faye trying to again save her sister from foolishness, but Angela is not hearing her. Faye is trying to let her know that Tony is not good. She's trying to, she's speaking straight facts, wisdom, and knowledge to her sister, and Angela just won't hear it. Angela's just like, Faye, he makes me laugh, Faye. I laugh at him. That's what it is, Faye. And Faye is like, oh, really? Was he making you laugh when he was running around with them hookers? Poor Faye. Angela puts her through it. You know what I mean? Like, this one sister right here really takes Faye through the ringer, because no matter what she says, even if it's some good information, even if it's the truth, Angela won't hear her. She won't hear her. Keep Faye in her bump it in your prayers. Megan, Michael, and Sarah. We start back up with this couple, this throuple, where we left off with them in the last episode. All of a sudden, Michael and Rock, his best friend, are cool again. Like, after Michael mugged him, all of a sudden they just calm down. And he's like, so do you want her? We can go talk to her right now and we can go see what she want to do, bestie. And I'm like, wait. Weren't y'all about to throw each other into, oncoming traffic and fight over Megan? How are you guys here now? What did we miss? We didn't miss anything, because this ain't real. This couple is trying to kick up some drama to make themselves interesting again this season, because I think last season it was so real, because so much stuff, real stuff, was happening in their lives that they didn't have to fake anything. I think now that everybody is kind of cool and really living in this, pseudo kind of celebrity, I think that everybody is playing this game a little differently now. Just like Angela and Tony or Clint's mama, now everybody is producing storylines, so it doesn't feel real or authentic. How do we go from Michael mugging Rock to all of a sudden them just calm down, Michael smoking a cigarette, talking about, does Rock want to go see Megan? I'm like, wait, no, what happened to the scuffle? We were ready to see them fight for the death over Megan. That didn't happen because this wasn't real. And you know what? Since we're talking about Megan, sis, I'm going to need you to start going after men who have a barber and a hair braider. Although it would be fun, it would be, it would give us all a good gag to believe that Megan got a taste of Michael's penis and all of a sudden she just needed to start smashing a homie. It would be so fun if that were the truth, right? It's not. And the fact that they're trying to make it like it's this thing that really, really happened. I can't believe it because they don't believe it. When Rock was sitting down saying, come on, Megan, you know that we had sex. Why don't you just tell Michael? Just tell him. Megan is like, no, that didn't happen. Like, what is you talking about? Why are you acting like this? I'm sitting there looking at them like, why are you guys acting at all? Because this is terrible. This is terrible. They are drumming up a storyline. None of this makes sense and none of it is believable. It's really amazing how trash Michael is. And he continues to get away with it with the women in his life. Because he's sitting down with Megan and he's just like, if we're going to be a couple, I need to know everything. You know what I mean? So you told me that you didn't sleep with, Rocky. I'm going to believe that, right? But we got to have some trust. So what do you want to know about me? Ask anything and I'll tell you. And Megan is like, well, are there other women? And then King Basura sits up and leans in and says, oh, what you mean? Are there other women in my phone that I talk to? He's a pro. I hate it. He is a pro because Megan never questioned it. She just said, like, sis, that wasn't the question that you asked him. He flipped it around so it could fit his narrative that he is not cheating, and you ate it up. This is why you need to be with a youth pastor or a crossing guard. You don't have the range to deal with this kind of rat, sis. See, this is why you should have gave him that NyQuil cocktail that I talked about in the last review, because you need to knock a fool like this out for a few hours so you can do some serious recon, because he's such a professional. He will be ahead of the lie before you even catch it. And since we're here, guys, I was joking about that NyQuil cocktail. So many of you were commenting about that and I was just like, oh, really, girl? Don't do that. Because let me tell you something. I will testify against you. I would be like, Your Honor, I don't know this person, but before we go any farther, let me just let you know, I plead the fifth. Because on the grounds of incriminating me, or whatever they say on Law and Order SVU, whatever they say, that's what I'll say. I was kidding, guys. Don't be going around drugging on men, even if they're a cheater. Ugh. Even if they're a cheater. Yeah, don't drug cheaters. No, but seriously. Like, if you got to go through all of that to see if a guy is cheating on you or not, sis, he already cheating. Dump him and protect your peace. So now let's move on to Sarah, because this episode should be called How Sarah Got Her Groove Back, because baby, Sarah done found herself another black man, so she's okay. Sarah done got her groove back with some Negro penis. Let me stop. Sorry, Mom. So, poor Emmy, she takes Sarah out on a date, you know, like a good husband. And of course, in this bar full of white men, Sarah finds the only diversity in that bar and starts chatting it up with him. So this guy, I think his name is Nate, he sits down, you know, with Sarah and he, you know, starts chatting it up. You know, I think she just saw some melanin and just got excited. She saw some masculine melanin and was just like, listen, I'm ready to get pregnant again. And you know, ain't nothing wrong with it. Everybody got a type, you know what I mean? My type is wealthy. Anyway, Sarah starts chatting up, you know, straight edge Michael. And cause I was just like, this is Michael. This is your type, black, skinny, and corny. So they're chatting it up, and as Sarah and Emmy are about to leave, you know, he walks her out or whatever, and, you know, Emmy gets in the car and she, you know, waits for, you know, her queen. But Sarah is still, you know, she chatting it up with Nate. Nate is like, can we exchange numbers? And Sarah's just like, you know what? I'll just give you my number because it's a black man. So she gotta, you know, she gotta let him know I've been here before. So I know how to talk to you, black king. So they exchange numbers or whatever. And then like before she gets in the car, straight edge Michael looks at her and he's just like, can I leave you with a little something before you get in the car? A little something. And Sarah's like, what you want to give me? And he like leans in and kisses her. And this kiss was so abusive. I was like, oh, I don't want to see. It was a lot going on. It was a lot of sucking. Like the whole face. I feel like Nate's nose and jaw were in Sarah's mouth. It was very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody wrote the FCC about that kiss because it was a lot. It was a lot to take in. Anyway, so after that kiss, Sarah and Emmy get in a car and, you know, Sarah is just like happy. You know what I mean? She's still thinking about Michael, right? She's still thinking about Michael and about how he'll feel. You know, that's a baby father. That's a husband. So she still has like some feelings for him. I'm hoping that they're starting to leave her and that she realizes that this could be her life, that she could be free of feeling this way and being bound to such a trash dude, right? I was really happy for her. I really, really was. Sarah gets on my nerves. This whole throuple gets on my nerves, but I was happy to see her happy. I feel like all last season, all she did was cry and scream and be angry about this fool that was doing her dirty. But seeing her just being happy and just hearing the audio of her in the van talking to Emmy, I was just like, yes, Sarah, you need this. You need this. And even if Nate is a rebound, sorry, Nate, do what you got to do, girl, because we all want you to be done with Michael. You, Megan, all them women that are supporting that man, y'all need to be free of him because he's not a good guy. He is not. He is a user. Michael is a user. He uses people to get what he wants. And when he is done with them, He's done with them until he runs out of resources and he needs to come back around. That's what we're seeing him do with all the women in his life. That's something that even Sarah talked about, right? She was just like, Michael just uses all these people. He preys on, insecure women, and he gets them to take care of him. While she was doing all this explaining about these women, I was just like, are you excluding yourself from the conversation? Because no shade, but you're the biggest con. Like, he got you good. Them other dummies is just sending him cash apps. You're giving him babies. You're marrying this fool. And you're crying over him on national TV. And no shade, sis, but let's be real. You probably gonna get pregnant by him again and just be like, oh my goodness, it was a slip up. I made a bad decision that night. No, you still feel for this dude, right? So you can't exclude yourself from the conversation of, insecure women that he preys on, because you are one of them as well. I think if Sarah gets up under another black man, because that's the only one that's going to be able to save the day for her, okay? And also realizes that she's no better than the women that he cheats with, that she is in that same category of women. Yes, you are the wife, right? You are also prey to this predator with the toddler braids. Because who in the hell, what's going on, Michael? What Michael's hair represents his maturity level. You got the hairstyle of an 8-month-old baby. You're letting me know everything that I need to know about you and how you handle things in your life. He's not smart. He's not mature. He was in no position to be nobody's husband or father. But Sarah, you gave him those roles. You gave him that title. No shade, but you were one of the insecure women that this fool preys on. And he got you, sis. He got you good. Megan about to end up right there with it. She already looking like a dummy on TV, but she looked like she about to get pregnant by this dude. And oh my goodness. Sad for you, but oh, a great season for us. And before we close out, let's run it back to when Sarah was chatting up Nate at the bar. Some drunk dude tried to talk to Emmy. Homegirl almost broke his arm. She scared that man so much. She was like, oh, whoa, sorry. That dude was so scared. Emmy was so busy focusing on Sarah. She was like, I'm not even here for myself. This is my main concern. And when that guy touched her arm, I was like, oh, dude, okay. You're about to lose your life. Emmy don't play. And all jokes aside, I joke about her being Sarah's husband because it's very obvious, right? But I also think she's a really good friend. She's a really good friend, and I hope that Sarah is reciprocating the friendship back to Emmy because Emmy is really doing the Lord's work concerning Sarah in this ghetto hot mess of a situation that she's in with this throuple. I hate to close out with trash, but that's how the cookie crumbles. So this episode ends with Michael talking to some woman. I don't know if it's the same woman with the kids or if it's another woman. There's probably going to be multiple women that he is going to be talking to on camera this season. But he tries to justify the fact that Megan cheated on him when he was married to Sarah with his best friend, Rock. So he's saying that because she's doing that, he's pulling back from her because he don't trust her. Also, it's Megan's fault, the side chick. Okay. Basura, guys. He is King Basura. And then he says, oh, Megan shouldn't worry about the other women that I talk to because I'm just talking to them. I'm not spending money going to their city to see them. I'm doing that for you. Those other women don't matter. I'm just trying to get that out of my system. What are you talking about? You are a scammer. He is such a scammer. I was listening to his lies. Like, he just says these things to try to make them make sense to us because he knows he's a scammer. He knows it doesn't make sense. He knows that he is lying and taking advantage of these women, but he lies so much, he scams so much that this is just his everyday dialogue. Like, this is how he talks. Michael speaks a manipulator. So he can't communicate any other way because his whole way of communicating is to get something out of the other person. I don't even think that he knows how to have an authentic conversation that does not benefit him because he's been scamming for so long. And in thinking about that, I kind of feel bad for the dude. Kind of. That's it for me. What did you guys think of this episode? Let's talk about it in the comments section below. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and watch some commercials. And I will see you next week for the following episode of Life, not love, Life After Lockup. Love you guys. Bye.